Turn this off. And welcome, everybody. We are live here on the Startup Morning Show. Got JJ Pruitt to my left. I'm Darryl McCoy, and this is Bradley Dameron from the mean streets of Marbone Creek. Guys, we're live here in Warfield, Kentucky. So, guys, as we're getting started, this first segment brought to you courtesy of Jeremy and Shasta at Punk's Tires. If you want to get your vehicle road ready, get it road ready with Punk's Tires. Jeremy Pinson is what, JJ?
The best tire man in the business. And on top of that, if you go to his place to get your tires worked on, guess what else you can tune into while you're getting your tires fixed?
What?
The Morning Startup Show.
Wow, Bradley. That makes me want to go even more.
I mean, I would like to hear myself talk in the morning. Yeah.
Well, you do, Bradley.
Bradley's a smooth talker.
He is. He's a smooth operator, JJ, is what they say. So
that's a rumor.
Yeah. It's been a few days since we've been online. JJ has come down with a case of coronavirus.
No, I wouldn't go as far as the coronavirus.
Oh.
But I did have the rhinovirus, and it morphed into bronchitis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got my viruses mixed up, JJ.
Well, when they told me I had the rhinovirus originally, I was like, is that short for corona? And they was like, no, it's completely different. This stuff ain't nothing to play with. And what's crazy is I got a flu shot 2 weeks ago, and I thought that I was in the clear, but it turns out that the one thing I got sick for is something that they don't make a shot for.
Well, Bradley, and we're glad that JJ's back, ain't we?
I'm glad he's back. Glad he's feeling better. I didn't even know JJ was feeling sick. I see message yesterday and all that. Didn't know JJ was all like laid up.
Yeah.
Oh, I was laid up, but I was about dead.
He's back in action now. So we're going to get started, JJ. And you tell us, today is October 16th. This day in history. What you got for us?
The year was 1916, when an individual by the name of Margaret Sanger, an activist for women's reproductive rights, opened the first birth control clinic in the United States in Brooklyn, New York.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, well, that was an important thing for her to do, because who knows where this world would be without her.
Especially during that time period.
Yeah.
You know. And then we got the year was 1964, where China was eager to join the nuclear race and successfully detonated its first atomic bomb. So, I mean, I don't understand why everybody was in a race to try to end the world.
Oh, well, it was everybody. They had to defend themselves, because if one person had it, you didn't want to be the one not to have it.
Yeah, atomic bomb, though. I mean, Jesus, the amount of damage those things do.
Yeah. What's the nickname for the atomic bomb?
Nuclear?
No.
I'm not sure. That's
the A-bomb.
The A-bomb. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you think that we'll see anybody in our lifetime try to, detonate one of those again? Like, do you think that's something we'll see again? Or do you think that they come to the conclusion 50 plus years ago that wasn't a good idea?
I do not. I'm not for sure if I will ever say it. If so, I mean, I think it's going to be from one of the Korea countries. Them or who knows with China.
Well, it came awfully close with India and Pakistan a few years ago.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, there were some really heavy tensions over there with that, and there were a lot of threats with it, and people were genuinely doing reports on what it would mean if one was dropped in India and stuff like that.
Well, one film I definitely want to check out is Oppenheimer. I know you guys have talked about it, and wasn't that film pretty much about the guy that designed the bomb?
Yeah,
Robert Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
So what else we got, JJ?
We got one more. The year was 1968. During the awards ceremony for the 200-meter race at the Mexico City Olympics, American sprinters Tommy Smith and John Carlos gave a Black Power salute, for which they were later ordered to leave the games. So I remember them talking about this whenever I was in school. A very significant moment in history. Still hard to believe that, we had times where, you know, stuff like that had to happen. But, you know, thankfully we're progressing.
Past it now, right?
I wouldn't say fully past it. We're much better off now than we were back then. You know, I would say we're as close to being past it as we can get, you know, under the circumstances. I mean,
yeah, and I go back to, you know, like it now, you know, I think a lot of that, you know, it's best, you know, I think one of the worst things, and I think the most racial group since the Ku Klux Klan has been Black Lives Matter.
I mean, I think that the message was like whenever they originally started, you know, the purpose of it was, you know, because of police brutality. But I think that the wrong people were, you know, orchestrated like behind the group. Like, because if you look at some of the articles that have come out over the years, like the main founder, how they was embezzling funds and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that if you'd have had maybe some like a Reverend Jesse Jackson type person there or something like that, like it would have been better. But the people that was running it, poor job.
Yeah, I think it was very racial. I think I think it itself made white people go back 40 years, and all of a sudden it was almost a defense mechanism whenever people would bring it up and say it, because you're like, you know, whose Black lives didn't matter, you know, and you know, all lives matter, you know, the you know, and I just think it took us back the wrong direction.
And then you had certain networks that were covering it one way, and then other networks that were covering it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, yeah, just a crap show.
That's everything now, though, JJ, because like every network, I mean, like I can remember when I was younger, it seemed like that they just had a guy go on TV and he'd read the news, and that was the news. And now it's entertainment. It's
opinionated, you know.
Yeah, if you watch Fox News, it says this is an entertainment show.
And if you listen to it, it's like that's all you hear is their opinions. Like, you know, Tucker Carlson, whenever he used to get on there, it's like, just I don't care about your opinion. I just want to know what's going on in the world.
That's why I think the best show, and I hate CNN, but the best show, and they do not do it anymore, used to be a show that come on called Headline News on CNN in the mornings, and it had Robin Meade on it. And I mean, that's all it was just news. And it was one of the best shows, but it ended up, for some reason, it went to the wayside. So
probably for that reason, probably because it wasn't entertaining enough to.
It was really popular. Every story you walked in would always have it on, but
or maybe because it had to do with, you know, because Fox News was founded in 1996, and they had like a couple of, like I watched a documentary on them, and like the formula that they would use, like from even the women that they would have hosting the shows, like they had them always wearing certain colors, certain types of dresses. They had to be a specific length, and then you like you had to have personality. Like what was his dude's name? Sean Hannity. And was Bill O'Reilly, like you had to have personalities that were very vocal about their opinions, and maybe that's the reason why.
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just to compete for ratings, I mean.
But but also this day in history, 1962, Cuban Missile Crisis begins as U.S. President John F. Kennedy is shown photos confirming presence of Soviet missiles in Cuba. So and let's see, 1964, New York Yankees fire manager Yogi Berra one day after losing the World Series. Now, Bradley, that's not very nice, is it?
Jesus,
that's pretty rough, isn't it? Like that's pretty high standards right there. You make the World Series, but you don't win it. And
hey, that's Titletown,
man.
So let's see.
I think I'd want to give him at least another chance at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Anything? Actually, kind of a slow day in history here. 1986, U.S. government shuts down due to disputes between President Reagan and the House.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So that was big. 1987, Defending champion Mike Tyson beats Tyrell Biggs by TKO in round 7 at the Convention Center in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Retains unified heavyweight boxing title.
That Tyson was must see. He was a must see event back then.
Yep, I agree. Now, in 1992, Gilligan's Island TV pilot filmed in 1963 is first shown on TV on TBS.
The very original pilot?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's the first time it was ever shown on TV.
You said it happened. It was 1963, and then it was shown in 1993?
Yep.
So
1992.
Oh, so 29 years later.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid.
I used to watch. It was on TBS all the time, and I used to watch TBS a lot. I used to see a lot of those old shows on TBS.
Let's see. 1995, Brian Lara scores 169 in Cherie ODI versus, that's soccer, so we don't really care about that here in America. So, sorry, soccer parents.
Wow, man.
All the soccer moms in the minivans, we apologize.
Yeah, we do apologize.
Wow. I used to work in soccer too. Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding on that. We do care about it, but just not as much as we do other sports. Now, JJ, whose birthday? Celebrity birthdays.
We got a couple of celebrity birthdays. We got Manute Bol.
Manute Bol. There you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, we got Bryce Harper.
We
got John Mayer.
Yeah,
one of the more talented guitar players we've seen, in the last, about 20 years?
Yeah.
He's really, really good, too.
I like John Mayer. Big John Mayer fan.
I got one more. Flea.
Okay. There you go. So this is a good birthday day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Or we could say Will Ferrell. Because everybody says that they look alike. You ever seen them two together?
They do not look alike.
Is it Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers? And Will
No,
Ferrell?
they got the same hair.
Hold up now. Let me show you.
They actually got your kind of hair, JJ.
Oh,
Don't they, Bradley?
They got the good stuff. They got the good hair.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Will Ferrell's looking a little more bald, though, these days.
You're telling me that those two don't look alike? They do look
but
alike.
they made it. They do look pretty much alike. Hey, listen, I take that back.
Yeah.
Bradley, have you seen them?
Yeah, they do look pretty similar.
Yeah, the resemblances.
Now, we also got a good birthday on the Book of Faces here.
Okay.
Kristen Whited, Pikeville shooting guard from last year. Happy birthday, Kristen. Jordan Belcher. Now, let's get to the good ones here. Caden Melton plays for Knott Central. Really good basketball player. Josh Horn. Josh Horn from Martin County. He's the media guy over there. Josh, great guy. Really helps us promote the Cardinals around here. Waylon Butcher, Prestonsburg Black Cat. Waylon Butcher, baseball and basketball standout. Macy Maynard, Martin County. So happy birthday, Macy, the big dog in there.
Big dog.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Macy. And one last one. And it's a guy we had on this show, Connor Morgeson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
Happy birthday, Connor. So good birthdays on the Book of Faces today.
Yeah, terrific.
All right, guys, that brings us to our first break. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break, and we will announce our guest. We will also announce the Double Quick Player of the Week, and we'll go over some of the scores from last week since this is the last time you've seen us. So make sure you guys come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show.
Agents wear a lot of hats. They're coaches, volunteers, church members, neighbors. Someone who's there when you need them, especially when you need them most. That may be a lot of hats, but they're all the perfect fit. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Award-winning tire shop that focuses on customer service that's family-owned and family-operated. Stop by and see our friends Jeremy and Chasta at Punk's Tires. If you have a hectic work schedule and you're looking for a non-stressful, convenient way to buy tires, take advantage of Punk's Tires appointment Saturdays. If they don't have the tire you're looking for, they guarantee it to have it the next day. Punk's Tires can take care of all your needs in tires, wheels, wheel alignments, brakes, rotors, minor mechanic work, and more. They'll treat you like family from the second you walk through the door. Come see us in Virgie, Kentucky, or give us a call at 606-639-TIRE. That's 606-639-TIRE. Welcome back, everybody. We're back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt, Bradley Dameron, and Darryl McCoy. Bradley Dameron from the mean streets of Marbone Creek over there. Bradley, how you holding it down?
Well, it's chilly over here on the mean streets of Marbone Creek right now.
Okay.
Got to get him a Carhartt.
The Cliff Wallace says, good morning, fellas. Tuning in from Bridgeport, West Virginia. Cliff. He works in the oil field, so good seeing you, Cliff. Tune in, especially from Bridgeport, and I know he's going to be cheering on his Belfry Pirates this weekend. Guys, let me tell you, Cliff is for folks that don't know, Cliff one time had 32 and a half tackles in a game at Belfry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I promise you, I don't think they've been a linebacker as good as him since come through Belfry in the Haywood era.
What year
That's a lot of tackles in a game.
98.
98?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
graduated in 98. We got Whitey Little says, good morning. Good morning, Whitey. Good to see you again. Joe Kendra says, Bridgeport, the program is set up for the next few years. What a powerhouse that game is from Fairmont, with Fairmont. Carl Whitey Little says, you missed yesterday EB's birthday. Yes, I forgot EB Waters had a birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to my big man, my center on our D&D Mountain Elite AAU program.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Mike Perry says, hey, how you doing, Mike? Good to see you on here. And
so, Jeremy Penson's tuning in too.
Yeah, Jeremy Penson from Virgie, Kentucky.
Yeah, and what is he best known for?
Tires.
There you go.
Yeah,
best tire man in the business.
Whitey Little says, Cliff, good you're on D&D. Yes, it is. It's always good to see Cliff, and pass on his knowledge to some of the young ones. He's the one that got me into hunting.
Oh, really?
Yep, killed my first deer. I was ready to give. Well, I told the story before about Jason Blair, and I was ready to give up on it. He took me hunting, and I dropped the buck, and from that, the rest was history. I ended up dropping out of college, and hunting and drugs is kind of a combination. But but as we're moving on here, guys, Bradley, tell us about the Double Quick Player of the Week.
Well, the Double Quick Player of the Week is Knott County Central's Shane Gibson, who had a fantastic game in the Patriots' 42-20 win over the Harlan Green Dragons that I predicted, by the way. And he had 24 carries for 350 yards, 4 touchdowns, a 2-point conversion, 10 tackles, and 2 tackles for a loss. And just a fantastic game. And Knott County Central's having a great year this year.
That's a game, and yes, they are. And it's so great to see Knott Central have this kind of a year with everything that's been going on there. They had teammates that passed away. They got flooded. It's one thing after another there at Knott Central that's happened to them in the last 5-6 years. So for them to have this year, this is huge for them. Congratulations, Shane Gibson. And as much as good as he is on the football field, I like him on the basketball court, guys.
Jesus, if he's half as good on the basketball court.
Yeah, well, he is very physical. Can't wait to see him again. But guys, yesterday, and we ain't gonna talk much about this. We'll be releasing our rankings, preseason rankings, 15th region player and team ranking. Hopefully this evening.
Oh, this will be exciting.
Yeah, and yesterday is my favorite day of the year.
So yesterday was October the 15th. What would happen on what basketball season officially start?
JJ hit it. There you go.
He got it.
Yeah, the official start of basketball season. And so I wait every year for this day, and I am stoked, for this year here. So it's going to be a fun year in the mountains, guys. And then as we move on here, guys, speaking of basketball, big shout out to the Warfield Lady Red Devils defeating North Magoffin 17-8 last night, and a huge game as number 14 Caroline Dalton ended up chipping in 3 points, and Cammie Fletcher led the Red Devils with 8 points. Big game, big win for them, and really neat to see how far Coach Eric Copeland has took this group, because they was kind of like the bad news bears, the misfits. They very inexperienced. A lot of them first year playing basketball, and he got them their first tournament win.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so great job there. How about this? We see our buddy Eli Johnson. Eli, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Eli, I loved watching Eli, one of my favorites that I covered there at Pikeville. So, Eli, good seeing you. And Bradley, we want everybody real quick before we get any further. Click this barcode here. Let me click this barcode, and Bradley, I want you to too, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure it works for us, Bradley.
It does, and I am. Well, I think so. Hold on. It does. It takes me to YouTube, and it takes me to our channel. I'm already a subscriber, so.
There we go. So, guys, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch this show on YouTube or on Facebook. But as we move on here, let's get to this past week, guys. Let's get to the games. Boyd County falls to Ashland 49-21. That was a tough one there. The Putnam, you knew what was going to go down when it was at Putnam. Ashland just dominates that area, really dominating the Cofield right now. They're still set at number 2 in our rankings, but I'm telling you, I don't know. It would be a dogfight. I can't wait till them and Johnson Central play each other. And then Bath County, how about this? And what did I tell y'all?
You did.
I told you, Brewer, this one was primed for an upset. And Brewer, he played so many games tough. He was bound to get one. And this is the one he got, and it's a big one over Daniel Barker's West Carter Comets. Now, Betsy Lane, 39-8 over Eastridge. And I did not let me pull up some stats from that game and see, Bradley. I did not see Andrew McCutcheon on our list of candidates for.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I thought you meant for like the stat leader. Sorry.
No, for our list of players of the week. So I do not. And let's see where we at here. Shelby Valley.
He had 14 carries for 140 yards and 3 touchdowns.
14 carries For how many?
140 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, listen. When you get to the point that's a bad night, you know you're a good player.
Yeah, that when you go like, oh, a ho hum, 140 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Wow. Really impressed us there, Andrew. I tell you, that kid, and that's what he does. That's something he's created himself. Because when you have 250 yards a game and 4 or 5 touchdowns a game, then everybody expects that out of you every game. Then Carter Parsons was 8 for 18 in that game with 96 yards and a touchdown through the air. He also rushed the ball twice for 31 yards and 2 scores. So big shout out. And Carter Parsons he's one of the best at being patient. And then Weston Harris. We also had Weston on the show. Led the team in tackles with 12. Brady Maynard had 8. And then Ty Isom had 7, as well as Reese Hamilton. So, guys, that rounds out that one. Next score we got, Letcher gets blanked by Corbin, 35-0. Game went about what we expected it to, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Corbin's a powerhouse.
Leslie County takes down Titletown, 36-3. That was a big win for Leslie County, guys. I will always I'll always want to see what would have happened if Noah Kilburn would have stayed healthy. Because you put Landry Collette with a D1 wide receiver, man, they was going to be fireworks in Leslie County. Then let's see, East Carter takes down Fleming County 34-24. That one closer than I thought.
Yeah, I thought East Carter went pretty comfortably in that one.
I did too. But Fleming County giving them a fight. Raceland 56-6 over Fairview. Then Knott Central 42-20 over Harlan. I told Bradley, but he didn't believe me. And then we got Hazard 41-0 over Paintsville. Now, I was at this game, guys, and man, A.J. Johnson not being with Paintsville really kills them. I mean, I don't know that they picked up a first down in the first 3 quarters of the game. I mean, they really struggled moving the ball, and I tell you, Kenyon Higgins for Hazard, that dude is a animal on defense. He was in the backfield just wrecking everything they was trying to do every play. Like, they didn't have anybody that could stop him. And then Max Pelfrey ended up, I think he had 6 touchdowns on the day. Big day for Max Pelfrey. And but Hazard seems like they're back, after getting beat by Corbin, playing them close for a half. And then after that second half, they come out, got blew out, and then Raceland blew them out. So after 6 quarters of not being very good, they come back in a big way and get a big district win over Paintsville. So hats off to Coach Chandler and the Bulldogs. Now, Johnson Central 48-6 over Rowland. Russell 45-0 over Lewis County. Lawrence County 48-21 over McGolphin. And JJ, you was at that game, right?
I would say the big story behind that game would be Caden Johnson. This kid is unbelievable. He got 5 touchdowns in the game, and I think 3 were passing and 2 were rushing. Am I right? Or
probably receiving.
Yeah, receiving. Yeah, that's my mistake. But yeah, he had 5 he had 3 receiving touchdowns and he had 2 rushing touchdowns, but the kid was unbelievable. I mean, McGolphin County, I think they might have jumped out to a 7-0 lead, but then, that was the only touchdown that they seemed to get for most of the game. And then at the end, they got a couple. But Lawrence County was kicking on, all sides. Like, they were dominant on offense. They were dominant on defense and even special teams.
I was a little disappointed in McGolphin in that game. I thought they would give a tougher fight than what they did.
And what was mentioned to me by the individual I was doing commentary with, like he mentioned that the previous week they scored 50 points. Didn't they? Was it like
who?
McGoffin? Didn't they score 50 points against another team?
Oh yeah, the week before.
Yeah, the previous week.
Yeah, Powell County.
They lost the game, but it was a very close game. So whenever he mentioned that they had scored 50 points, I was under the impression that we might have us a basketball game on our hands, but eventually it got to the point where it was a running clock.
Yeah, and that's just the impact, guys, of Caden Johnson. He's back, he's healthy, and, you really got to see what that team is with Caden Johnson. But, Lawrence County is a completely different team with or without Caden Johnson. The Bulldogs, Coach Short does an amazing job up there. And, next year, the year after, this is a team that could go deep in the playoffs. This year, I think they'll be a little young. They can still upset anybody on any given night, but, they're just too young right now. But next year, this is going to be a deadly team. Let's take some look at some of the highlights from the game.
1st and 5, interesting. Federhoff will take the snap, he'll roll, he'll survey, down the middle, throw it up for grabs, and get it both feet in. Yes, sir, he did. Federhoff with his 2nd touchdown pass of the night. That's Caden Johnson once again. Now, he's got a touchdown reception of 20 yards and 25 yards already tonight.
Unbelievable.
Well, they scored 50 points last week. They know how to put the ball in the end zone.
Absolutely.
Burton, the shotgun. He'll take the snap, roll back. Nice job by the Lawrence County defense. They'll sack him. They'll mark him down to the 36-yard line. 3rd and 6 from the 7, so they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. He'll hand it off to Wireman. Across the 5, all the way up the middle.
Touchdown, ladies and gentlemen.
Wireman from 7 yards out. And the Hornets are on the scoreboard for the first time tonight. Wireman's got 4 carries, give him 23 yards and the score, JJ.
Yes, sir. And we have us a ball game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Federhoff by himself in the backfield. Nice job of the Hornets defensively. He'll throw on the run. The throw is called by Caden Johnson. That's going to be a pickup of 14 yards. 13 yards on the pickup by Caden Johnson. That's his 3rd catch of the night. Federhoff rolling to his left, threw a missile.
Jesus.
And Johnson high, and he's a sophomore. Federhoff's a junior. We'll bring it back to the 30, 10 yards back, 3rd down and 5. Takes a snap. He'll set his feet, good protection. He'll throw down the middle, and it's caught.
Wow.
As a young man, that is number 22, Garrett Gray Deerfield. We just talked about a freshman from 30 yards out.
And as JJ said there, he said, you got a ball game on your hands, Bradley. I don't know how much of a ball game that was, JJ, but it was one.
I mean, we had a ball game on our hands.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But tough test there. And I just, McGoffin, man, they got some dudes. They just, don't have enough experience right now.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Wireman's the star. He's just a freshman. Going up against a team like Lawrence County, that's a tall task. Both of these teams will be much better next year.
He was definitely up for the challenge.
Yeah. So let's move on here, and we got Shelby Valley. Now, this one was a dog fight. I was actually watching this one. Down to the end, me and David was on our way back from Hazard, and we was watching it. Pike Central jumped out to a 12-0 lead, and Shelby Valley come back in the 4th quarter, ended up winning the ball game. Pike Central was still without Jameer Knuckles. Would have been a big win. This game a lot closer than I ever dreamed it would be. I thought that the winless Shelby Valley Wildcats would go in there and just blow Pike Central out. That wasn't the case. The Hawks had different plans. Maybe the best ball game of the weekend.
I think we all picked Shelby Valley, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then Whitley County takes down Perry Central. Tough loss for the Commodores. They fall to 4-3. That would have been a big win if they could have knocked off Whitley County. Herbert Hoover. This game was on Thursday night. Spanks the Wayne Pioneers. Bradley.
Wayne is missing a few players, and it's showing. Not just a few players. We're not talking about like the second or third string guys. We're talking about their stars.
Yeah.
So right now, I think they're just trying to scratch their way into the playoffs somehow, and it doesn't help whenever you're recovering like that and you play a team as good as Herbert Hoover.
Nah, I agree. And Joey Fields and them just poured it on them. Montcalm 59-12 over Phelps.
Hope they didn't take River Rock Road.
No, no. The Scott 55-8 over Logan. Bradley, that was a tough one for the Wildcats.
It was, and I tell you, Scott had that rough start against Wayne, but ever since then they've been lights out. They did lose a tough one to Independence. We'll mention them here soon, which was a really good team. But Scott is actually looking like, I know they're not ranked super high right now in West Virginia, but in their class, but they're looking like a top 10 AA team right now.
I agree with you. 100%. Then Man falls to Sherman 14-6. I thought the Hillbillies would get that done, but not so much.
I did too, but Sherman's pretty solid this year, and that's a tough place to win. I know I've been over there a few times, and it's not an easy atmosphere to play in.
Well, that was tough. I was hoping the Hillbillies would grab them a win there, but couldn't get it done. So fall to the Sherman. Do you know what their nickname is, JJ?
Have you already told me?
Huh?
I said, have you already told me?
No.
No clue.
Tide.
The Tide?
Yeah.
I don't give a. What was that dude that cares nothing about the Tide? The Alabama dude?
Oh.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I don't care about nothing.
Fun fact about the Sherman Tide. They have an original school fight song that's not like based on anyone. You know how a lot of schools will use like, famous college fight song when they add their own words to it or whatever.
Yeah.
Theirs is completely original, and they've been playing it since I want to say like the 30s or something like that. It's called Roll Tide Roll. But,
can you sing for us?
No, I don't know it. I've seen them perform it before. I've seen their band do it at halftime of the game. They're very proud of their fight song there at Sherman.
We'll have to make sure we get that, get a video of that. Then this one here wasn't as close as I thought it would be. Huntington Highlanders blow Spring Valley out 40-21. Thought that one would be a little bit tougher, but Tug Valley 41-6 over Riverview. Bradley, give us some of the stats from that game here as we're going to look at the highlights real quick.
Second down and about 4. Ball at the 8-yard line. Handoff to Adam Sloan. Breaks 2 tackles. Lunges towards the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. Adam Sloan. Preston Mays back in the game now. It's a 12-yard punt. Play action pass. He's going to heave it out there. He's got a man out there. It's caught. Touchdown, Panthers. Ashton the ball at the 18-yard line. Rolling out that far side. May throws it. Completes. It'll be a first down and a touchdown, Tug Valley. Riverview has held the ball the whole quarter. There's the handoff to Davis. Davis in the secondary. He's near the goal line, and that is, did he get in?
Yep. Touchdown.
20-yard line. Rolling out. Mays directing traffic. Cameron Sloan jumps, makes the catch. Forced out of bounds. First down. Around the 7 there in the I. Hand off to Eli. Eli jumps. Makes a man miss. Touchdown, Tug Valley. Bryson Eli hurling a defender.
If you ever. Oh.
And as you sit there and look, Bradley, you got some stats for us?
Yes, I am actually trying to get my computer to scroll down to the. All right, there we go. having an issue for a minute. Preston May had a really efficient game for Tug Valley, 15 of 20 passing, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 4 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. Bryson Eli had a pretty solid game, 14 carries for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Cameron Sloan had 8 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. And he's a guy we haven't mentioned as much here, Darryl.
Yeah.
But, you know, we look at the stat leaders here, and I'm sure we'll go over them here in a bit. And he's kind of especially with yards and receptions, he's been rising up that list a lot. He's now firmly entrenched in that in our leaders. Cameron Sloan is. Well,
good to see Cameron up there because if you watch him play, you could tell he's that kind of athlete.
And his dad was a heck of an athlete.
Yeah. He one of my favorite Tug Valley Panthers. Talking about a dude that was just tough nosed and did not give a crap.
No, he did not.
That was his daddy. So as we move on, Robert Evans lights up Van 41-0. Bradley, you got his stats?
I can pull them up real quickly. I did well off the top of my head. I know he had 188 yards and
4 scores,
5
right?
rushing touchdowns.
5. Okay.
And he, I'm pulling it up right now, but he also completed. He was 2 of 3 passing for 34 yards. Just another great game from Robert Evans. Van was just a team that I think was overmatched by this. And Tulsa right now, it looked like they were going to be 16th, but there was an out-of-state game that came through that gave Montcalm an extra bonus point. And so they end up, they're 16th right now in the rankings. But Tulsa has a big opportunity this weekend to get some big points and firmly put themselves in the single A playoff picture.
Who do they play this weekend?
They play Buffalo, Double A Buffalo, and Buffalo has 3 wins. So that's a good amount of points in the West Virginia system. And so it would move Tulsa would probably jump up a few spots because there's a log jam in single A right now in West Virginia. If you look at teams that are even from 12th or 13th down to 17, 18 to 20, there's just not much separating them at all. So that win would really boost Tulsa up there. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really think Tulsa's going to lose the rest of the year in the regular season.
Well, and that's going to be the thing. I don't think the tough part about Tulsa, they're in a situation where they're not going to Tulsa is not going to be taken serious until the playoffs because their schedule has been pretty weak, and people want to see them play against others.
They gave a really good account of themselves against Tug Valley though, and they really did against Wayne too when Wayne was fully healthy. So that was a big game for them. I think Buffalo will help some, but then they also play Riverview, and it'll be interesting. I after seeing both Tulsa and Riverview play, I really believe Tulsa will win that one by multiple scores. But but it's interesting. I really do think though that they're looking like a playoff team, and I agree, Darryl. They've got to get in and make some noise. I know they've been improving under David Thompson, and I think they're going to be pretty good.
I agree with you 100%, and I am sitting here looking, Bradley. The last score we got is one that I hate to see it come across. Independence ruins West Side's undefeated season with a 51-13 win at Clear Fork. just a tough loss for the Renegades.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. I mean, Caden, he's been having a tremendous year.
Yeah.
And, you kept mentioning, like, to give him the best shot to win the Kennedy Award, he had to have a good performance against this team. And I'm not sure what his numbers looked like, but it was just unfortunate that,
Yeah, I think no matter now, it's going to be tough because, I think they would have to run off win state, or make a deep run in the state playoffs with this loss right here. And that would have to include a win next week at Tug Valley.
Well, a couple weeks, right?
Not this coming week, but next week.
The next week, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But he's still a phenomenal player. I tell you,
absolutely still
Independence is an absolute powerhouse in West Virginia, and it's something that I know a lot of maybe Kentucky fans don't hear a lot about them because they're not super local. But whenever they play one of our teams, they show how much of a powerhouse they are. So I'm not really surprised they lost. I'm surprised that it was that big of a margin, but I did expect Independence to win.
Well, they, I expected them to win, but I didn't expect like that, and, that was the big thing. They needed but, I just don't know at the end of the day, this West Side team still, I don't know how good they are. I've not been able to, figure out like, okay, they beat Mingo, but Mingo, had them up big. They come back and beat them. I think they're a good football team, but we really won't know what they are until they face Tug.
Yeah, and you look at not as good, but Shady Spring right after the Tug game is a pretty solid team as well. So they got Summers County. They got two pretty good teams back to back in Tug and Shady Spring. So that'll tell the tale on West Side this year. I have a feeling.
Well, I hope Coach Coger and them, I hope they really get it. Get it figured out, and we'll see how things end up panning out. But who they got this week? Do you know?
I can pull it up in just a second. They have Summers County.
So Summers County at home. Summers County, I think they're like 2-4 on the season. So
you're correct. They have Summers County's 2 wins are over Pikeview by a score, and then they beat Wyoming East pretty solidly. But a lot of teams have beaten Wyoming East pretty solidly this year. So,
well, that's and so we'll see how they bounce back. They got to bounce back in a big way, and then use that momentum to come into Naugatuck and knock off the Panthers. If Caden Vance wants to stay in that Kennedy Award race. If they lose to Tug Valley, he don't have a chance at it.
I agree.
Yeah. Then Joe Kinzer says all 55 in the first half for Scott.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They scored 55 in the first half?
55 in the first half.
What's that, like 9 touchdowns?
Well, Hazard scored 41 in the first quarter.
Yeah, you all had the running clock in the first quarter, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Jesus.
That was a tough one. The Cliff Wallace says he's got tickets for the Bridgeport game. And guys, keep them comments and questions coming.
Absolutely. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes. Click that QR code right there and subscribe to our.
Just pause it for a second and scan that.
Yeah. There you go, guys. Pick your phone up, scan that code, and subscribe to the D&D Sports YouTube channel. We expect it to go up big time. Guys, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Come right back and join us on the Startup Morning Show.
Central America, head to Sal's Steakhouse. Sizzle your senses with mouthwatering steaks, juicy burgers, savory chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Sal's Steakhouse, where your taste buds will thank you. Unleash the flavor at Sal's. Taste tradition, taste the difference.
Award-winning tire shop that focuses on customer service that's family-owned and family-operated. Stop by and see our friends Jeremy and Chasta at Punk's Tires. If you have a hectic work schedule and you're looking for a non-stressful, convenient way to buy tires, take advantage of Punk's Tires Appointment Saturdays. If they don't have the tire you're looking for, they guarantee it to have it the next day. Punk's Tires can take care of all your needs in tires, wheels, wheel alignments, brakes, rotors, minor mechanic work, and more. They'll treat you like family from the second you walk through the door. Come see us in Virginia.
Are now available at Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Little Flower Dental Clinic. Same day crowns. No more temporary impressions and wearing temporary crowns. Same day crowns. Now available at Little Flower Dental Clinic. We also offer cleanings, fillings, extractions, root canals, and bridges. Call for an appointment today at 487-9505. We accept most major insurances, Medicare and Medicaid, and even a sliding fee scale. Little Flower Clinic, your medical home in the mountains.
23 West Avenue here in Williamson, West Virginia, where we've got great deals going on right now on all of our new and pre-owned inventory. Guys, we got rates as low as 0% on 36 months on select units, as well as up to $8,000 off in rebates on select units as well. We have Wranglers, Compasses, Grand Cherokees, second and third roll. We also have the Wagoneers. We have Rams 2500s, 1500s. We've got a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles. Come on down, check us out here at Moore Chrysler. Well, we're not here to sell you a car. We're here to help you buy one.
In America, what does that mean? It means jobs. It means craftsmanship. And when it comes to Vaughan Bassett furniture, it means value. And Kemper recognizes that. That's why they've dedicated an entire gallery to Vaughan Bassett. Made in America. See the quality. And now, see the price. Come see your favorite Kemper store in Hazard, London, or Somerset.
All right, guys, we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. This segment is sponsored by Crace Solid Rock Development. If you're wanting to build your dream home, build it today with Willie Crace. He'll make sure that he gets it done at a great price. All right, guys, we have a very special guest getting ready to come on here. I've been excited, and we've been trying to work on this, JJ, the entire morning to get him on, but a former Belfry Pirate here, Sean Hager.
Oh, wow.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Yeah, always good when we get to catch up with you, Coach.
Well, that's good. I'm glad I'm getting a chance to talk.
That's one thing you never have a problem with, Coach.
No.
I wanted to bring you on, Coach. First of all, my respect for you. I think everybody knows. I say it all the time. What you've done. Between your days at Sheldon Clark and then, Floyd Central a couple of years ago, you took over and coached football, basketball, and baseball. Was it baseball or softball?
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball, and then this week here, big game in the Hager household. I'd say your wife Kelly right now is probably fit to be tied for this Friday. You will face your son Wes Hager in the Hager Bowl. Coach, talk a little bit about right now. Leading up to this game this week. What's going on in the family.
Well, it's a big week for us. I wish the things were a little bit different, but I guess it is what it is. I am super proud of him. At the first, I really didn't want him to get it. I said, Wes, if you were to get it, we're in the same district, same county. It's a rivalry. But it's worked out great for him. Everything's been calm in the household. He still comes down. I seen him last night. I guess we were chirping at each other last night. So, but super proud of him. I didn't think he'd be 7-0 at this time, with it being his first year. But man, his kids are really playing hard, and super proud of him. But we've had some bad luck. Last year, midway through the season, the injuries, and then this year we don't have a lot of depth, and we've been, it's hurt us a little bit, but our kids are still fighting, and we're still going to fight this Friday.
Well, Coach, that's the thing. We'll get in to that, but you guys this year, obviously, if you guys haven't been following Floyd Central, still searching for the first win, but you guys have been right there at a couple of them, and you've shown the ability to put some points up. Right now, what do you think has to be fixed for you guys to turn this thing around?
We're trying to work on that little thing called defense.
All right.
We've put some points up, and we've put enough points up to win, but we're just, we got kids playing both sides of the ball, and we're just trying to fix some things. We've made some changes for this week, but defense has been it the last few years, and we're trying to correct it. Like I said, we made some adjustments. We're hoping to get some kids back before the season ends, but we've not got them back yet. But our main thing is defense. We've got to fix our defense.
Well, Coach, for the people that haven't been following Floyd Central, tell us about a couple of your players that, although the record, a couple of the players that's having good seasons for you right now.
Well, on the line, Will Wells, he's playing both sides of the ball. He's he's our leading blocker. We had a kid step up last week that I thought ran the ball really well, Ethan Curry against Knott County. So, look for him to carry the ball some this Friday. And, we started out the year, and then our quarterback broke his collarbone, and he's one of our better athletes. So then when that happened, we had to take our running back to move to quarterback, Coach Shelton, and he's doing what he can at quarterback to keep us, surviving until we can try to get everybody back healthy.
Yeah, that's the tough part about it, Coach, and going through, a season like this. I know it's tough for a coach like you,
Oh, it's extremely tough. That's just like I told somebody. It's just like even my days at Sheldon Clark. See, I've always been blessed to be in Belfry's district almost my entire coaching career. Yeah. So, we've had to fight and claw, and, in 2009 and 2010, we kindly broke through there. And then when I came to Floyd Central, then I was still in 3A in Belfry's district. But now that we're out, the last couple years now, we've had nothing but injuries. It's just crazy. Going into our third game of the year this year at Powell County, that's when our quarterback broke his collarbone. But I think we had like 8 or 9 starters out for that game, and we've not had a full team. I was expecting this year to come in and have a great season and possibly win this district championship. And it's just amazing how things has worked out, with the injuries, and just can't stay healthy right now.
Well, and to hit on that, you being in Belfry's district, it's got to be neat to be able to go against your former coach Philip Haywood, and I know the outcomes don't really tickle you, but when it comes to playing Belfry, does that game, I know you spend a lot of time in Sheldon Clark, and I know you now you're at Floyd Central, but at the end of the day, I'll always look at you as a Pirate. Do you still feel yourself as a Pirate?
Well, deep down in my heart, I'll always be. We had some great years there, basketball and football. Yeah. But then, playing like when we played Coach Haywood, it was like that. There was, even when we, upset him a few times, he'd always tell me he was proud of me. So, it was hard, but even at, Sheldon Clark, we were,
Now,
we
was
got good
you at
enough.
Sheldon Clark in '99 when they beat them with Harley Hammond and them?
Yes, that was in '98.
'98, okay.
Yeah, we in '98 is when I think during the season that year, I was helping Coach Matney, and they beat us like 49-7, and then we upset them in the regional championship.
Still
Well,
a
it's just
goal
like
line play
it's
that
just
I
like
think was called wrong.
it's just like that, huh?
I still think that goal line play, I don't know that was called the right way.
But you better go back and put your glasses on and look at that. That was a great call. But even back in '99 there, that Sheldon Clark team in '98, we went into the playoffs 5-5 and played in the state semifinals that year against Fort Thomas. But we just, that 8th or 9th game of the year that year, we started peaking and got all the kids healthy back in '98, and then we made a run at it. But we're not giving up. I mean, our kids, we're up here every day. We've not, the kids are out here practicing every day, and we just got to fix some things. And these kids has got to get out of that mode, of every time something goes wrong, they get down, because we don't have a lot of depth. And, one kid has to move out of position and we have to move another kid in. It's just hard. And that's something we're trying to build here is, get a lot of depth out. And one kid I didn't mention who is having a terrific season for us is Wesley Buck. He's a freshman receiver, and I'm sure they're going to have Dalton Elliott on him Friday. But he's having a great year for us. But we got some kids playing, and then we've got some kids that we need to do better in order to compete.
Well, that, and JJ, I know you're sitting there when he talked about that Fort Thomas team. Do you know who the quarterback of it was?
Not 100% sure.
You ever heard of the hefty lefty, Jared Lorenzen?
Yeah, and they had the Smith kid that played at UK. He was the tight end.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep. So. Well, and now that brings us, you mentioned, and that's what we're on here talking about today, while we wanted you on, being able to face your son, now this it's a tough scenario. I mean, you got, your son who is undefeated coming in, and you guys still searching for that first win. Now, I know you want that win, but is it tough knowing that if you get that win, it's going to spoil your son's undefeated season?
Deep down, yes. But if I can spoil it, I will.
Yeah.
There we go.
And the reason I say that is we're not going to give up. I am super, super proud of him. But, it's a football game. And we're going to do our best. And when we step on that field, we're going to try to give them their first loss. And then afterwards, we'll hug and kiss. But we're going in to try to beat them. We're not going to lay down. They've got a terrific team. They're fast. They've improved so much on the offensive and defensive line. I think they've got a great, coaching staff. I think all of their players or assistant coaches has graduated from Prestonsburg. So they've got an interest in it, and they're clicking right now. And on paper, there's no doubt that they should win. But there's always, there's always that David and Goliath, and that's the way we feel like going into. But we've got to play, and we're capable of it. But our kids has got to start believing that, and that's what we're trying to get them. We had an off week, had a really good week of practice. And so far, up until today, it's been a great week. So, we've had some good game plans this year, and we're not the fastest team in the world, and we're not the strongest team in the world, but we have to kind of game plan, to try to compete. And then, when you do that and you have kids blow assignments or miss this and give up big plays. That's happened to us all year. And that's what we're trying to correct these last 2 weeks.
Well, Coach, you know that I've always rooted for you, but I can't lie. Whenever it gets to whenever you guys got to about the 4th loss, and I seen this game coming down the pipeline, I was like the other night when y'all almost knocked off Knott Central, a very good Knott Central team, and I was watching it online.
Well, when you score 44 points and lose a football game, there's,
you know what the problem is.
Yeah. So
but I was sitting there. I was like, this is going to be a special game. You got somewhat to coach against him last year as he was the OC at Martin County, but going into this year here, I see, what he's done there. Something, special is going on in Prestonsburg. You can just feel the community moving there. And it's all because of him. That whole community has rallied behind him, and it's really neat to see how he relates to his players. Now I was talking to him, and he told me, he said, I'm just blessed. He said, Dad is a great coach. He said, I get all that knowledge that's come down from Jim Matney and Philip Haywood, so it seems like you're creating quite the star in the coaching world, Coach.
Well, he's going to be terrific, and I just hope, Prestonsburg's a tough place. Things don't go well. People that's on your side, they want to go against you, but Coach DeRossett was there for 20 some years, and I hope they give Wes that chance, and he'll be a great one. But the thing he's got right now is his kids are playing hard. I mean, you can see it on film, man. He's got some kids that'll go all out, and when you got that, and you get a few wins, and then it starts building, and now your kids are believing, that hey, no matter who we play, we've got a chance to win, and we're probably going to win. Well, that's just vice versa here. I mean, we're trying to get our kids to believe that they can, but when one thing goes wrong or something happens, they get down, and I just, we're trying to get out of that mode. But now he's got things rolling, and I hope the community continues to support him because they've got a good one there.
Well, does Prestonsburg, do they got the fastest backfield in the mountains?
They're pretty fast. They can fly. And I don't care what coach you talk to, if you got a little bit of speed, speed helps. And that's the thing we're worried about is, we know if they get in open field, we're not going to catch them.
Yeah.
So we've got to, and I've got to do some things on the offensive side of the ball, to try to, we got to change some things to try to stay in this and compete.
Well, do you feel like is this week any different? Does your players have they seemed to want to get this win for you?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, they've been practicing hard, and they know the week of Prestonsburg is always a rivalry. That's just like last year. Going into the Prestonsburg week, we had a week open, and we had a bunch of injuries last year midway through the season. So we had to move, like when it called up to us against Martin County the week after, because that was for the district championship last year. But last year when we played Prestonsburg, we started, I think our guard was about, both these kids were skill kids. We had to move to the offensive line, and I think our left guard was probably 5'11", 165, and then our left tackle against them last year was like 5'5", probably 155, and we ended up upsetting them last year. And then we was able to go to Martin County, and their size caught up to us. And like I said, I was hoping things would be different this year, but I mean, we can't, and that's what I tell the kids, you can't help injuries. I mean, we've got an offensive two starters, offensive and defensive line, that's not even played the first play this entire year because of an injury. And we're hoping to get one of them back. He's had a broke foot, and we're hoping to get him back next week. So we've had two starters. And like I said, going into, I'm not making excuses. And that's what I tell the kids. It is what it is. I mean, now other people has to step up. So we're hoping this week off has gave us a chance to get some kids some practice experience and get them in there Friday, because we've got a tough task. And then I told them it's going to take a great effort in order to compete with them. And we cannot let them get in open field because we won't catch them.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I told them, speaking of that game last year, I said, Wes may have that Prestonsburg job because of his dad. I think when y'all upset Prestonsburg, that kind of done Brewer in, and you could feel the tide try to change there, and I think that was a big reason why that job become vacant. And so just really neat to see how things come come 360 degrees back around. And
I want you to, and this is what I tell people, coaching today is different. I guess everybody expects you to win a state championship, and that's everybody's goal.
Yeah.
And it's just sometimes when one thing goes wrong or you're not having a great season, that's when everybody wants to think that they're a terrific coach at the house and wanting to know this and that. And everybody wants to be armchair quarterbacks. And, and what I tell them is, if they want to, why don't they come coach? Why don't they stick their nose in this and see what kind of business this is? But I'm glad that the community is supporting him, and they've got a good one. But just like when they hired him, he wasn't their first or second choice. I mean, he hung in there and he fought to get that job. He never gave up on it. And, a lot of people would say, hey, if they're going to go after this one, at one point, I even tried to talk him out of it. But you know what? If they would have hired anybody else, they could not be 7-0 right now. And so he's done a terrific job, and I think they've made a great hire.
I agree with you 100%. I think, just seeing how he relates, and, Brandon Brewer done a great job too of that, relating to his players. But, Wes, for him to be as young as he is, I think he has shocked everybody. I thought people thought he would be a really good coach, but I don't think they thought it would be to the extent it is this first year.
Well, no, that was just like I told somebody, even when he helped me when he was going to school, and I would get him to help me. I know of 2 football games that we would not have won had he not been on our sideline, because he looked out there and he picked some things up that no other coaches was picking up. And he said, Dad, have you all ever done this or tried this? I said, no. Matter of fact, even after he left, we have a football play, or had one, that was called Wesley Hager. So every time the kids heard that name, they knew exactly what to do, because where we line up in the wishbone sometimes, and teams like to stack the deck. There was two games I know we wouldn't have won had he not been with me. So I knew right then, he's going to have a bright future.
Well, I tell you, I'm very excited. My son went to Prestonsburg for the last 3-4 years, so we become Black Cats ourselves. But this week here, I definitely my loyalties lie on Pond Creek, Coach. I'm rooting for you. And I want to see you guys. Shock everybody, and I know you can do it. I know you got the offense that can compete. It's just the defense that
Well, we're going to try to do some things on the offensive side of the ball to try to, try to help us a little bit on defense. We've made some changes maybe to rest some of our players on offense. We've done some things and try to shore up. So we'll see, but. And that's just like, I'm grateful to get to play But when we step on that field, I'm going to try to give them their first loss. And afterwards, I'll love him. It might take one of us a week to get over it, but we'll get over it.
Well, and who do you think has the advantage in that? I mean, like, do you think that, if it comes down to a tough situation at the end of the game, nobody knows my son like I do, or do you think that he's been around you enough that he's going to know what your cards are?
I think it goes both ways. I really do. I know watching his film and him watching my film, we can almost call each other's plays.
That's neat. Yeah, I'd love to sit in one of them sessions. JJ, you got any questions for him?
Coach, whenever this game is over, if you somehow are able to pull the upset off, will you be sure to let us know what the Thanksgiving conversation looks like?
Oh, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what the next day conversation looks like.
There we go. Hey, that's my only request.
Bradley?
Coach, you were talking about you were doing some things to help out. Like, what adjustments have you been making on defense and stuff? I know this year you said you were working on that little thing called defense, and what adjustments do you all need to make that step forward and then win a few games here to close out the year?
Well, we play a lot of assignment football, and one thing that we found out this year, we had some injuries and we've had to have some young kids step in. Well, when you blow an assignment, you give up big plays. So the last couple of weeks, we've kind of changed some things. We've changed some personnel to try to take advantage of the style of offense that they run. We've moved some positions around, and when I say change personnel, not, we've added some, but we've changed some positions. We've put kids in different positions that might help us against their style of offense, and then kind of changed our scheme a little bit. So we've kind of, this off week, we kind of scrapped some things that we've been doing, and we've kind of went a different route.
Well, we got an interesting comment here. Wes Hager says, "Yeah, Dad, what adjustments are you making?"
Hey, can we get him on the show for like 5 minutes and we can do like a face-off?
Then Jeremy Pitson says, "Tell you to come across the mountain and stop at Punk's Tires. Grab a tire from old Belfry boy there running the shop across the mountain, Coach." And
oh yes, sir. They've been great supporters. So they always help support us each year. So
they do. Jeremy's great. And then Joe Kendra says, "Dad is thinking streaks are made to be broken." And so, Coach, one, I won't keep you much longer. I know y'all got testing going. Taking your sons out of it, in your great coaching career, Sheldon Clark and Floyd Central, who is the best? Give me three players that are three of the best that you've coached.
Gosh, but I probably couldn't do that. I've coached Sheldon Clark. I've coached some really good ones, and I'm afraid I would leave some out.
Well, let me ask you this: Do you know? Like JJ said, do you know who? Is there one particular that stands out above the rest?
Well, I know probably one in my entire lifetime. Adam Dowles.
Adam Dowles.
Yeah, he was when my first upset of Belfry. I think maybe 06 or 07, somewhere in that range. They had us down 29-7, and they would never kick it deep to him. He was our running back. And I remember one of their coaches looking across the field, like pumping his fist at me. And that next kickoff, they kicked it deep to him. And he returned it to the 10-yard line. And we came back and tied the game at 29. And then it was at Sheldon Clark. And then we beat them in overtime. And Adam was there was a game at Perry Central where he carried the ball probably 30 sometimes, 375 yards, 6 touchdowns. So he was that type of running back.
Yeah, well, I don't remember Adam.
I'm pretty sure it was back in 2006 or 7, somewhere in that range.
I was in North Carolina during that time.
He was a dandy.
I come in and watched. I think it was 06. I come in and watched y'all at the Rock play Belfry one night on the way back from Florida, and y'all had a really good football team that year. But
and that's just like here. I even last night at practice, I tell these kids stories of our 2009 team at Sheldon Clark that went to the state semifinals, and had we not had 6 turnovers at Somerset, they ended up beating us, I think, 24-12 or 26-14, something like that. And we had 6 turnovers there in the state semifinals. And then they went on the next week and played Paducah Tillman and got beat 21-0, and they had 7 turnovers. But I tell them stories of our 09 team. Man, we had some really, really nice players on that 09 team.
Who was quarterback of that team?
Austin Stepp.
Okay.
And then Cody Sloan was the backup. He played tight end, and he coaches at Martin County right now, and he was our corner. I mean, we had some terrific players and some terrific linemen on that team. So that's why I'm hesitant about, because that team in 09 and 2010, they were pretty special. As a matter of fact, that was the 2 years that we played Johnson Central. And I think in 09, we ended up beating them at Johnson Central, J.J. Jude and them. And then in 2010, they beat us 14-12 there at home.
Wow, you beat JC with J.J. Jude?
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I know y'all was getting ready to change classes there. But I want to wish you the best of luck. And it calmed down a little bit there. But I know that in that Sheldon Clark community, you are beloved. I mean, people, when they talk Sean Hager, you can just see, I've heard many people say, we wish we had Coach back. When you're facing a team, the teams that you face right now as a head coach at Floyd Central, what win gives you the most joy? Who is your biggest rival? Put it that way.
Well, since I've came here, it's always been Prestonsburg.
Okay.
But once we got into, the new district, and now we're with Martin County, I'd say both of those now.
I would say you do like giving a little back to Martin County every now and then. But
we our first year here, we played them in 2017. And last year was the first year that they had beaten us, and they beat us pretty good.
So you got so right now you got a winning record against Martin County.
I think we played 2 years. I think.
Okay.
I think we played in 17 and 18, and then we played them last year.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's what it is. It's 2-1, but I'm pretty sure last year was the first year they had beaten us.
The thing that stood out to me about Wes Hager was before the Betsy Lane game, Coach. I spoke to him and he told me. He said, I seen you pick Betsy Lane. And I was like, I was just afraid their size, be a little too much for you, size, physicality. And he said, we're not losing this ball game. He said, I've watched film. He said, I know. He said, we're too disciplined. He said, we don't make mistakes. We don't turn it over. He said, they make a ton of mistakes. He said, we're going to win this ball game. He wasn't nervous at all.
No, actually, going into it, I actually thought Betsy Lane, I was hoping he'd beat them, and I'm glad he did. But I thought maybe their size may wear him down. But that's just like I said earlier, man. When you've got kids playing as hard as his kids are playing for him, and you know they're playing hard, they're fighting to get every tackle they can get, and you add that with the speed they have on offense, and you've got a dangerous team there.
That's it, you know, and I look forward to seeing where this thing ends for him this year. And you know, either way it goes, it's been a heck of a first year, and hopefully they can continue going strong. You know, but in your case, you know, hopefully this week here is their speed bump.
That's just like last night when I was talking to him. I wished him luck for next Friday. I didn't wish him luck for this Friday.
In a perfect world, his son will win the state title this year, and he will give him his only loss.
There you go. Coach, let me ask you this: Kelly Hager, what shirt she gonna wear this week?
She's got a split shirt. It's almost like somebody from the Prestonsburg area got her it's a half Jaguar and half Black Cat.
Okay.
She wore one last year for Martin County. They had bought her one, and
I remember that.
It was cut, and they had her one made this year. It's got Hager versus Hager on the back, and but she's like the referee there at the house. So
one thing I want to ask you, and listen, a lot of fans won't get this reference because it's just a childhood question. In the backyard back in the day, Sean or Jared Hager, who wins 1-on-1?
Sean.
All right, there we go.
When he don't cheat.
Well, he was a little more athletic than you, I think, but you know, JJ, for you not to, I know you're a little younger, but Coach Hager is probably the best pure point guard to come through Pond Creek.
Really?
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
What year did you graduate, Coach? What year did you graduate, Coach?
Hold on, that's our bell going off.
What year did you graduate?
1992.
Oh, so he was the three
with JJ
back to back to back.
Yeah. We were region champs, back to back to back there, and I don't to my knowledge, I don't think they've done it since, have they?
No, they haven't. We made it in '98. We made it to the championship versus Paintsville.
Yeah.
And they beat us out, but and I still think I think Belfry needs to name that court after Raymond Justice up there.
Oh, I agree 100%. He was and that's another thing. I mean, even like Wesley, I when I grew up, man, I had some terrific coaches, and that's all the way through college.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that molded me and helped me to be the coach. Coach Justice, Coach Haywood, the assistants there, Denny Palme, Randy Casey, and then when Jim and Joe Stepp at Alice Lloyd, all of them helped me, and that's what I've tried to do, is to try to to be the best coach and the toughest coach that I can, and make sure that we graduate good kids, and but yeah, I mean, Coach Justice, man, he was awesome.
Yeah,
and you know what? During the time, it's just like everybody else. Everybody asked, would you do anything different? You know what? I would have went back and played for the same coaches and everything, because now that I'm out, how tough they were on me. I try to be tough on our players, and in the future, they're going to be thankful. But man, I agree with you. Coach
I would
Justice
dare to
was
say
awesome.
Nobody's had this group of coaches that you've had through your career. And
oh no,
Matt Maynard says in 2005 they went to the championship too. They did under Randy Casey. So
and Randy was an assistant coach there for Coach Justice.
Yeah, that was one of the first years that it was at the Expo Center there, and one thing that you might find neat, and I don't know if you still got yours, but I still got the Walking Tall and Freedom Hall shirt.
Yeah, the red one. I've still got the Sweet 16 jacket.
Yeah,
the old whiten up button-up jacket. It's up there in the attic.
Coach, will we ever see you on the sidelines again coaching basketball?
Oh, I don't know. You never know what the future holds.
Well, I hope so. You shocked everybody. The last year you coached there at Floyd Central, taking them to the region tournament, and so that was Brady Kahn's senior year, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, getting in there, trying to get your kids to believe. It was a tough year that year, but when we took over, the kids, it worked out. They played hard. And that's what you got to have, coaches. And that's something I don't think our team has done this year. We've not played hard for 48 minutes.
Well, I hope that you do this week, Coach, and I want to thank you for joining us. I can't wait this Friday to catch up with you. You can watch the game on D&D Sports Network, and this is a game I've been waiting for all year, and I really hope that your family, that it's not pressure. I hope y'all have fun with it this week, and good luck, and get that win, Coach.
Hey, and Wesley, if you're watching, buddy, I love you, and I wish you luck next Friday.
There you go, Coach Hager, laying down the gauntlet. Coach, thank you for joining us. It means a lot. I've been wanting you on all summer, and when you said I'm not very tech savvy, that's the only reason it's took me this long, because I didn't think you'd be smart enough to get on.
That's all right. I'm one of those dinosaurs when it comes to technology.
I am too, Coach. I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you all. Good luck.
Good luck, Coach, on Friday.
Bye-bye.
Guys, Coach Sean Hager, you can see now why I have such respect for him. Just a great guy, really knows the game. And, he's a man that, when you really sit down and listen to him, the way that he cares for his kids is different. He really loves his players, and that's what separates him apart.
Absolutely. And it'll be hard not to root for him this weekend.
It'd definitely be hard, and it's tough for me because I've become a black cat here in my later years with my son going there. But Coach Hager, us Pond Creek boys have to stick together every now and then.
Absolutely.
Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back as we're going to pick some games. Make sure you come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show.
Game day crowns are now available at Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Little Flower Dental Clinic. Same day crowns. No more temporary impressions and wearing temporary crowns. Same day crowns. Now available at Little Flower Dental Clinic. We also offer cleanings, fillings, extractions, root canals, and bridges. Call for an appointment today at 487-9505. We accept most major insurances, Medicare and Medicaid, and even a sliding fee scale. Little Flower Clinic, your medical home in the mountains.
23 West Avenue here in Williamson, West Virginia, where we've got great deals going on right now on all of our new and pre-owned inventory. Guys, we got rates as low as 0% on 36 months on select units, as well as up to $8,000 off in rebates on select units as well. We have Wranglers, Compasses, Grand Cherokees, second and third roll. We also have the Wagoneers. We have Rams 2500s, 1500s. We've got a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles. Come on down, check us out here at Moore Chrysler. Well, we're not here to sell you a car. We're here to help you buy one.
And we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt, Bradley Dameron, and Darryl McCoy. This segment is brought to you courtesy of our friend Derek Bowling at Kentucky Farm Bureau. If you're looking for insurance in the Perry County area, call Derek and support him like he supports the Perry County athletes at Hazard and Perry Central. Just a great guy, great community leader. So
loves the community.
Yes, he does.
He does. He really supports those kids over there.
He does. He's the number one supporter in Perry County, and them kids wouldn't have a lot that they have if it wasn't for him. So, Guys, that brings us up to pick 'em. You guys ready to pick some games?
Absolutely.
You ready,
Yeah,
Brad?
bring it on.
Guys,
Bring it on.
JJ, he's getting a little cocky over here.
Here we go.
Yeah, he went 3-19 last week, and he cocky.
Hey, I did a lot better 3-19.
We got to document
it.
Where is that, by the way? Do we have that?
Yeah, we've got it somewhere. I mean, is it on this?
I don't know.
Is this the same notebook?
I don't.
I wrote everything down.
I
think it's a different notebook.
Oh
man, that we're in.
Yeah, that's okay. So. That's okay. I was like, but if we're going to document, we need to leave it there in the studio.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. Here, I'll let JJ write these down.
Okay.
There you go, JJ.
All right. So who's the first game?
All right. So we got Estill County at Belfry.
Well,
both Estill County's 4-3, Belfry 5-2.
I'm taking Belfry. I'm not picking against Belfry. Ain't no way.
I'm taking Belfry too. Where you got, Bradley?
I've got Belfry. Yeah.
It'd be neat though to see if the Engineers, they got a high potent offense. It'd be interesting to see if they can put up some points against that Belfry defense.
That would be interesting. I want to see how they can keep it. How close they can keep it. That would be pretty neat if they can have a pretty good showing there against Belfry.
I know Jack's niece for Estill County. He's one of the best players in the Cofields. Jack's niece last week, I think he had something like 6 or 7 touchdowns. He might have had 7 and had 10 tackles on defense. Just a kid that plays both sides of the football really well. And Shelby Valley at Betsy Lane, a battle of 1-6 Shelby Valley versus 6-1 Betsy Lane. This game was moved to Thursday night, and this game will decide the district.
Where'd you say it's been played at?
Betsy Lane.
I'm taking the home team.
Yeah, I'm taking Betsy Lane in this one.
Shelby Valley shocks everybody. Shelby Valley, they get their second win in this one. And everything gets me tells me not to pick this, but for some reason, it seems like Shelby Valley is due for an upset.
Sometimes you get wild hair and you got to go out there. You got to go in on it.
Yeah. So Rowan County at Boyd County, JJ.
Boyd County.
I don't have wild hair here. I'm going with Boyd County.
I'm going with Boyd too. Pike Central at Eastridge. 3-4 Pike Central, 2-5 Eastridge.
Jesus. Pike Central.
Yeah, I'm going with Pike Central.
I'm going with Eastridge. And I'm going to go for the upset. I think Eastridge upsets them. The Morgan County at Jackson County.
Morgan.
I think Jackson County on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Jackson too. Greenup at Johnson Central. This could be a good one. Both teams, Johnson Central 6-2, Greenup County 6-1.
Taking Johnson Central.
I'm taking Johnson Central.
Yeah, I'm going to take Johnson Central too. But listen, if Greenup County can get up early, they can win this ball game.
My worry with Greenup County in this one is ball security. They have quite a bit of few turnovers this year.
Well, they and this is a situation. This might be one game that Johnson Central will face where they don't have the best player on the football field. Tyson Salmons is the best player on the football field in this game. So, Bradley, you disagree?
I mean, I think he's a great player. I mean, Zach McCourt is also a beast in his own right.
Oh! I think he's right there, but I think this is the one time that he may be out-edged.
I just, the only thing about about Tyson Salmons, and he's a great player, phenomenal player. He does have a tendency to turn the ball over.
Yeah.
He has 8 or 9 interceptions on the year, something like that, without off the top of my head, and that's something that they can't afford to do that against Johnson Central.
Well, when you throw the ball as much as he does, you probably will get a few. But it's kind of like Brett Favre. You gotta live with the mistakes.
Miss 100% of the throws you don't take, right?
Yeah, there you go. As Powell County at Lawrence County, a high-powered Powell County offense coming into Louisa.
I'm going with Lawrence County.
I'm still going with Lawrence County.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the home team, Lawrence. Breathitt County at Leslie, JJ. 5-2 Leslie, 2-5 Breathitt.
We'll go with Breathitt.
I'm gonna go with Leslie.
I'm gonna go with Breathitt. East Carter at Lewis County.
East Carter.
East Carter, yeah.
East Carter. Now here you go, JJ. 6-1, not Central Patriots at Martin County.
I'm rolling with Martin County.
I'm going with Martin County.
And I'm on Martin too.
Martin's going to have a heck of a game.
Yeah. 2-5 Pikeville at 2-6 Paintsville.
Oh, wow. I'm going with Pikeville.
Yeah, I think Pikeville rolls in this one.
I think Rose big time. And by the way, guys, continue prayers for Lincoln Browning. He got took to the hospital. Ambulance took him off the field after a kick return in that hazard game. Ended up getting a fractured lumbar.
Ooh.
So hopefully he recovers soon. The prayers going out to you, Lincoln. Let's see, Raceland at Paris.
We'll go with Raceland.
Raceland.
I'm gonna go with the Rams too. Letcher Central at Perry Central.
Perry Central.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Well, I'll go with Letcher.
You going with Letcher?
Yeah.
Man, this is a tough one for me.
It's tough. It's
it's a very tough one. I'm gonna go with Letcher. I'm gonna go with Letcher in that one. Now Floyd Central 0-7 Floyd Central at 7-0 Prestonsburg.
I mean, I'm going with Prestonsburg in this one. No offense to Sean Hager. I think Wes Hager's getting this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Prestonsburg as well. But I would like to see the upset.
Yeah, I'm going with Wes. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, this one here might come down to the Jimmy and Joes, and I don't know Coach Hager has enough Jimmy and Joes. The X and O's is great, but you got to have the Jimmy and Joes.
And I won't repeat what Nick Saban said if you don't have the right players.
Yeah, there you go. Please don't repeat it. Bath County at Russell. Bath County coming off a big win over West Carter.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with Russell.
I'm going with Russell, but I tell you, Bath County has kept it close in some games this year, and they did get that win last week.
Yeah, I'm going with Russell too. Fleming County at West Carter. 1-6 Fleming, 2-5 West Carter.
I'm going to go with West Carter.
I'm going to go with Fleming County.
Oh, there you go. They put up some points against somebody good this week.
They did well against East Carter.
Yeah, East Carter. So I'm still going to say, you're not going to beat Daniel Barker in a game like this at West Carter. So I'm going to go West Carter. Tulsa at Buffalo.
Tulsa.
Big point game for Tulsa, and I'm taking them. I think they win this one.
Tulsa wins it. Going away. Spring Valley at Capital.
What's the records?
Capital is 2-4. Spring Valley 3-3.
Spring Valley.
I think Spring Valley wins that one.
Yeah, Spring Valley. Now here's a good one. Mingo Central at Indy.
Jesus.
You got JJ.
I'm rolling with Coach Jones.
You going with the Miners? All right. Who you got, Bradley?
Listen, love you, David, but I think Indy takes this one.
Listen, I'm gonna take Independence, but don't count the Miners out in this one.
No,
because this is a must win. If Coach Jones and the Miners want to get in the playoffs, they have to upset Roan or Indy. They have to get one of them two games. And, this is the one, they got enough speed to compete, so, I could see a possible upset, but I'm taking Independence. Now, Logan at Roan County, JJ.
Roan County.
I think Roan County.
Yeah, Roan. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
The Polka Dots at Scott.
I'm picking Scott.
Against the Polka Dots?
Yeah.
JJ, you realize Polka is a powerhouse that hasn't lost, right?
I don't care.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna say, you ain't mentioned Polka one time since we've been starting this
I'm
season.
taking Scott.
I'm taking Scott in this too. Polka is 3-3, by the way, JJ.
Yeah. Mount View at Tug Valley.
Tug Valley.
Tug Valley pretty handily, that one.
Yeah, Tug Valley wins this one easy. Chapmanville at Wayne. Now you going in. This is tough, man. Wayne's got a lot of injuries right now, and they've been getting spanked. Who you got?
I love Chapmanville, but I think Wayne's going to take it.
I'm going to go a little bit of the opposite here. Wayne's been struggling so much with their players out. I think this is a big game for them, but I think Chapmanville, they're really hungry to get a win. I think Chapmanville's going to get this one somehow.
Yeah, I hope they do.
Well, Chapmanville getting healthy, is the big thing. They're finally starting to get healthy. They had 7 starters out.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one thing that I also don't know is like who's going to be playing on Chapmanville's team this week.
They got their stud Eli Pridemore back, and so that'll help them big time. But I'm gonna go to listen. It's they played Hoover closer than Wayne did, but I'm gonna say that it being out Wayne will give Wayne just enough advantage for him to get the win.
That's a tough one just based on where the teams are at right now.
Yeah.
And another thing is Chapmanville's got to clean up their penalties.
Yeah.
That's one thing. The Hoover and Chapmanville game, it was like
look at JJ learning football, Bradley.
Laundry on the field.
Yeah, we're proud of him.
Working on it.
There we go. JJ, Summers County.
Throwing up.
So who'd you take for Chapmanville? I got to write
that. Wayne.
You took Wayne, okay.
JJ, this is a tough one. Summers County at Westside.
I'm taking Westside.
I'm taking Westside.
I'm taking Westside. JJ, this one here, big game.
Okay.
Fairview at Phelps.
Fairview.
I'm taking Fairview.
I'm going to say Jace Manning lights the Hornets up to another record-breaking day. Hope it ain't the case, but that's what I'm saying. And then man at 100.
At who?
100.
I don't know who 100 is. 100?
Yeah, do you know their nickname? Well, you don't know their nickname, obviously. They have a great nickname to go with their town name.
What, Benjamin?
No, they're the 100 Hornets.
Oh, the 100 Hornets.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't. Have we even talked about them?
No, they're a powerhouse from up north. So you got the 100 Hornets versus man.
Taking the Hillbillies.
They're not a powerhouse from up north.
No, they're 1-5.
And I'm taking man as well.
I'm taking man in this one. And the teams that's off this week in our coverage area, Ashland, Hazard, and McGoffin are the ones on bye week. Now, guys, here we go. Estill County at Belfry. Belfry's a 39.5-point favorite. Massey ratings. Too high, too low.
Did you say 39-point favorite?
Yeah.
That's too high.
I think that's about right.
30, that's a lot of points. I mean,
I think it's a little high considering Estill County's offense. I think, just take it at face value. I think it's about right, but I think Estill County's offense may be able to put a few touchdowns up on the Pirates. Shelby Valley is a 7.5-point favorite over Betsy Lane.
I think it's going to – I mean, even though I took Betsy Lane, I still think it's going to be a really close game. So,
hold on. Shelby Valley's the favorite in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too high.
Yeah.
Well, Darryl, he took Shelby Valley.
Yeah, I think it's too high. I think it's a 3-4 point game. But the Boyd County, 33.5 over Rowan.
About right.
Right.
Then Pike Central, 24.5 over Eastridge.
No.
I think that's about right.
I think it's way high.
Yeah, I think that's a little high.
Now, let's see. Chris Bishop says Belfry is not losing and will play Cal Central in Lexington. I think you got a good chance of that, Chris. Then let's see. We got Morgan County at Jackson. Jackson is a 0.5-point favorite.
I think
that's probably about right.
Yeah, that's what
closer than that.
I think that's about right. It's about a pick 'em. Greenup County at Johnson Central. Johnson Central, 24.5-point favorite.
I'll give it. Yeah,
I think
that's good.
I think it's about right.
I think it's about right. Yeah.
Now, Lawrence County, 33.5-point favorite over Powell.
After watching them last week, I mean, I would say it's possible. They're really good.
I think it might be just a little high, but I still expect Lawrence to win by multiple scores.
Yeah, I think it's about right. Powell County, Breathitt County is a 19.5-point favorite over Leslie.
That's too high.
That's reasonable. I mean, 3 touchdowns isn't bad. When you start getting to like a 36-point favorite, that's when I think it gets too high.
I think it's about right.
3 touchdowns seems reasonable.
East Carter, 40.5 over Lewis.
No.
I think it's about right.
40 points?
I think that's about right, yeah.
Yeah. The Knott Central is a 34.5-point dog to Martin County.
Oh, so Martin County's the favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say at least 28 points. I don't know about in the 30s, but yeah, 20, 28, 26, 28.
I think that's about right.
I think it's a little high. I think Martin County has showed tendencies in games like this to not play their best. And I see them winning. I see more 26, somewhere around that range. Pikeville at Paintsville. Pikeville is a 39.5-point favorite.
That's a lot of points. I'm not giving anybody 39 points. I think that it might be 28 to 30 points, but 39, that's way too much.
I think it's too low.
Wow. Okay.
I do too.
After this past weekend, I think that's too low.
I watched Paintsville, man, and I hate this because I really respect Coach Hoskins, and he is a great football coach. But I just they're really struggling, man. They and I hate to say this, but they might be the worst team I've seen this year. With my own eyes. And it's because of injuries. It shows you in Class A football how one injury to a key player can really derail your season. And not have, if they had AJ Johnson, then all of a sudden you're looking, they could upset some teams. But, they're having, just like David does at Minor Mountain, they're having to put their best receiver at quarterback. And it's took a lot of what they do out. And, I think they may be injured on the line some. They're injured in special teams now, so it's going to be tough, man, for Paintsville in this game.
Yeah.
Raceland, 28.5 at Paris.
That's about right.
Raceland, 28.5. I think that's about right.
Yeah, I do too. The Paris ain't the same Paris it was last year. Letcher, 7.5-point favorite at Perry.
I think that's about right, but I think it's going to be a good one.
I think it's a little high. The Prestonsburg, 28.5-point favorite over Floyd Central.
I think it'll be closer to that. I'm not saying no. I'd say under 24 points.
I
think the old dog is going to have some tricks up his sleeve that the young buck's not going to be ready for, and not saying he'll get the win, but I think he'll make it pretty competitive.
I think it's about right.
I do too. I'm with Bradley. I think it's about right. Bath County is a 41.5-point dog to wrestle.
It's way too high.
I think that's high.
I think it's on the high side too. Let's see. Fleming County is a 3.5-point favorite over West Carter. I think it's high.
Yeah, I picked West Carter to win that one.
I think that's high.
Let's see. Tulsa, 27.5-point favorite at Buffalo.
That sounds about right.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I do too. Spring Valley, 30.5 favorite at Capital. And JJ picked Capital.
Well, that's too high.
He don't even know who he picked, Bradley.
I picked Spring Valley.
He don't even know who he picked.
Hey, with this 37 games, you got me right now.
I think that's too high, but I think Spring Valley wins fairly easily.
I think they win easy. I think it's about right. Mingo Central at Indy. Indy is a 31.5-point favorite.
Well, I picked Mingo Central for the upset, so I think it's too high.
Joe Kinder says too high.
I'd say it's a little too high.
Bradley, I take it this comment's for you. Mamie Rose says,
No. She's talking to very specific people. You see that?
Says that she's looking for some fun. If interested, add her as a friend.
No, she's commenting to other people there. We would suggest that no one contact Mamie Rose or whatever. That doesn't seem legit. See now after some of our fine listeners, I think
Oh, they're
we're
getting
going
up
to find Mamie on the block.
What if you're looking for fun, Bradley?
What?
What if you're looking for some fun?
I'm not looking for that fun. Let's see here.
Whitey Little, you better not click at. Betty will be on your rear. Then Logan is a 34.5 point dog to Roane County.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's about right.
I'm trying to find Mamie on here too. Oh, I even missed that. I'm here trying to clean up the page.
Bradley's tore up.
At least it wasn't you this time because you had a cop on here in the comments.
There we go. We got it. All right, now tell me that one again.
Logan is a 34.5 dog to Roane.
That's about right.
The Scott 34.5 over Polka.
That's about right.
I think too low. Then, what do you think, JJ?
Too low.
Do you what game was it?
It was Scott.
Scott versus who?
Hold on. I forgot who.
How do you know?
I'm trying to delete these.
Too low.
I heard Scott, and then I heard the number, then I'm trying to delete the other comments in the comments.
I ain't no reason to delete them.
Oh.
He blocks them; they won't be on there.
Oh, okay.
The Mount View, Tug Valley, 41.5.
Where do they come up with these numbers? 41 points. That's insane. Like that's a lot.
It's not me insane, but I think that's about right.
I do too.
I'm not. Maybe 30 points, not 40. I mean, Jesus.
You want to put 20 on it?
I don't know. You was a gambler.
I'm definitely a gambler. You want to put 20 on it?
41 points.
I'm going to put 20 on 41. No, what do you say? 30? We'll split the middle. 35, $20.
I got the World Series coming up next week. I gotta
listen
I might have the World Series coming
Listen to him. Back it out, Bradley.
Lord Jesus.
41
points. Are you're really that confident that they're gonna win by 41 points?
Wayne is a 13.5 over Chapmanville.
That's too high right now, Wayne, I think.
Too low.
I think it's too high.
Massey doesn't take injuries into account.
No, well, I don't know. In this one, I'd say they do, or they probably have Wayne more higher. I would think. The Chapmanville 1-5, Wayne 4-2. West Side 17.5 over Summers.
I think West Side gets it. Yeah, I think 17. Yeah, I think they bounce back, and I think they bounce back with a pretty good number.
I think it's a little low.
Yeah, I think it'll be higher than 17.
I think it's a little low. I think West Side's going to be ready to bounce back.
I think about 24, something like that. The Fairview 23.5 at Phelps.
Too low.
I think that's about right.
I think too low. Well, listen, 23.5, and JJ says too low, but he says that 30 is the.
For Phelps specifically, I mean, it's oh
Lord,
I love Phelps. My mother graduated from there.
It sounds like it.
I think they might need one more year to get their football team ready.
Man is a 41.5 point favorite over 100.
No, 40 is too much.
That's about right. That powerhouse 100.
I'm taking. I think that's about right too. But that rounds out the Massey ratings. And guys, as we sit here, real quick, got a couple topics to talk about here, real quick. And
get my phone ready.
As we bring them up, first, I want to read some comments in the comment section. Brandon Scott says, "Is Kentucky going to win this week?" Kentucky plays Florida at Florida, Brandon. I think that, man, I'm worried about this game, but I think Kentucky will win because they bounce back really well after losses that they shouldn't have lost, and you go and look too. I think they have won 3 of the last 4 maybe against Florida. I think they've won 2 in a row at Gainesville. So I think that Kentucky's going to win, but listen, this Kentucky team, they're about as frustrating as you can get. They beat the good teams, and then the games that they need to take care of business, they don't. And I think right now, a lot of it's just discipline. I think the line is horrendous. We still don't know what the quarterback is because you can't really blame him because of the line. So and some of the decisions that Stoops makes, man, Stoops is the best quarterback or best head coach that we've had here since Bear Bryant. And at the end of the day, I made this mistake early in his career. I'm not saying fire the man, because I do think that he deserves a statue outside of UK, for what he's done for this program. But, I just, I think it's come to the point to where if fans think that Kentucky can reach a higher level, I don't know if Stoops is the guy to take them there. I just think he plays too conservative. I just don't see it. So, I hope that answers your question there. And here's the thing, Kentucky, they're in danger of not making a bowl. That's the tough part. Chris Bishop says, okay, love to have Stoops. We will give you Brown. Nah, I will not trade you that, Chris. Which I
don't
think
want to climb.
Huh?
You don't want to climb.
No. And I tell you, Stoops is, the thing about Stoops is he would be the perfect one because he does a great job at rebuilding programs. But I don't know, it's tough. I don't know if he's got what it takes. And the thing is, he's just so stubborn. If he would, allow his coaches to coach, you take Liam Cohen, who is maybe assistant coach of the year, going to be a head coach soon in the NFL, and you see what he's doing with the Bucks, and at Kentucky, we really struggled with Will Levis, and I just think Stoops don't allow his coaches to coach. Like, he brings them here for what they are, and then he tries to change them. So he's got a lot of changing he needs to do. Mm-hmm. The Joe Kinder says Charles Huff is on the hot seat in his opinion. I hate to hear that.
Yeah, I think he is too. From what I've been reading, I think he needs to win pretty quickly. But I've seen some people who are pretty big Marshall supporters last few days and talking about how they feel like he's might be on his way out.
I hate this. I'm personal friends with Coach Huff's wife, and they. I hope he stays there. Because first of all, I want to see Jessica and him have a good life. But at the end of the day, he's got to win some ball games. At the end of the day, and Marshall fans, they'll put up with so much, but. At the end of the day, you got to start winning, or they will get rid of you quickly. So, as we're sitting here, JJ,
here we go.
Bath and Body Works is apologizing for a candle.
A candle?
Yeah. Okay,
wait a minute. I got to look for this one.
Now, look at this candle. You tell me why they should be apologizing. Bradley, can you tell me why they should be apologizing?
Come on.
It just seems like they need one normal person just to look at their products before they put them out. I don't know. It looks like maybe it's. I mean, now from Bath and Body Works, the Klan rally scent.
You ever seen Scary Movie 3 where the guy does the 8 Mile battle, then after he wins, he puts his hood up? And
yeah.
Says, we're in the hood now, and it's what that reminds me of.
This is a candle that come out called Snowed In. It hit the shelves, and a lot of people was going wild and said it looked like Ku Klux Klan hoods. They said they've not seen a snowflake that's looked like that. I see the snowflake. I see that in it, but I don't see how they could not have looked at that and been like, maybe.
It's the little circles that look like eye holes, right?
Yeah.
I think if they hadn't gone with that, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
If all I had to do was cut a hole in the back, gets what that the Django.
Yeah. So tough day for Bath and Body Works.
Oh yeah.
Now, JJ, me and Bradley put 2 and 2 together, and we figured where you was at this weekend.
Okay.
The city of Pikeville breaks record for Pikeville Pride Weekend.
Okay, let's see.
So is that where you been?
Oh no.
Huh?
No. What? What is wrong with
JJ?
What is wrong with you?
Now you act like there's something wrong, JJ.
I mean, it's not. I mean, they can do whatever.
Why are you so defensive?
I'm just.
Huh?
I've had bronchitis this week.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But guys, anyways, the lieutenant governor was there, and she said that she was surprised. Said 20, even 10 years ago, she wouldn't have seen an Eastern Kentucky town break records for a Pride weekend like this. Said she was really surprised at the support that Pikeville got. So, hats off. I'm not going to say that I agree with it. At the end of the day, I'm on a different side of the aisle, but and I don't like putting that in front of the kids and stuff. But I guess if you want to be proud of your community, I guess I am. Eastern Kentucky town, showing that they can be a little diverse, and I am, a little proud of the town in that aspect, but I will say I still don't agree with it. So as move on, Billy Davis said, heard a rumor Darryl was buying everyone lunch at Tug, Fork, and Spoon. Now that's Bradley. Bradley makes the big bucks, Billy.
Well, no, but I encourage you to do that because, some of my family owns that restaurant. But still.
Well, speaking of that, Bradley, I know you make the big bucks.
Yeah. The real big bucks.
Yeah, you just heard it there. Now that takes me to my next video. You tell me fair or foul. Watch this here, Sam Cassell's interaction.
The coaches don't get medals. I guess it just tells you what international how they value coaches. Not at all.
I'm surprised.
How do coaches don't get a gold medal?
I'm surprised coaches get a paycheck for this show. I think maybe you should do this pro bono, my friend.
Last time I looked at my check, it's pretty close. So hey, I'm taking donations. Why don't you come up off some of that money you got since you're over there bragging about it?
I'm not bragging about it.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you rent your beach house down in Florida during the hurricane? Or do I need to go on? How about your townhouse over?
Hey, Sam, what do you think about the fact that Steve Curtis is doing as head coach?
Yeah, I saw that. The coaches don't get medals. I guess it just tells you what international how they value coaches. Not at all.
I'm surprised.
How do coaches don't get a gold medal?
I'm surprised coaches get a paycheck for this show. I think maybe you should do this pro bono, my friend.
Last time I looked at my check, it's pretty close. So hey, I'm taking donations. Why don't you come up off some of that money you got since you're over there bragging about it?
I'm not bragging about it.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you rent your beach house down in Florida during the hurricane? Or do I need to go on? How about your townhouse over in Buckhead?
Hey, what's going on here, Sam?
You want to call me out? I mean, come on.
I think
you screaming broke and hungry. Let's just see it. I know what you have and where you live, young fella, so you need to stop.
I think we have snitches on the show today.
No, we
His
don't have
name
snitches. We
is
have
Sam
truth tellers.
Mitchell.
We have truth tellers, so you're the one who crying poor and destitute up here. When do I need to keep going on further, more and more? Or do you want me to stop right now?
Go to this game between
That's
the Sacramento
what I
Kings
I done
and
told
the
you,
Golden
young fella,
State Warriors.
you're going to stop messing with me on national TV. I done told you about that. Hey, do I need to give out the address?
Now, fair or foul?
Well, I think it was fair on his part. He kept receipts, and he took up for himself. The other guy was talking about his finances when he's the one over there apparently with a townhouse in Florida that he rents out and stuff. And
I agree.
Nobody talked down to you.
I think it was fair. I think it was foul of the co-host or the main host doing that to Sam Mitchell.
I can see both sides of it, but if you're going to start bringing someone's pay into it, then expect them to kind of come back at you.
I mean, you don't downgrade the. I mean,
everything costs money at the end of the day. It's like, do it for free. It's like, okay, are you going to pay for my flight to get to the city to do this show? Like, well, you're going to pay for my gas. Like, you got to pay for something,
The Clay Travis's. No. Let's bring this one up. This one right here is going to affect everybody. You tell me, Bradley, if this will affect you taking a chance at winning the lottery. Mega Millions is going to raise their ticket prices from $5 to $2. JJ, tell us when this is happening.
So apparently this is going to start happening on April 2025, and they're raising the ticket prices from $2 to $5, and apparently it's supposed to make your odds better and give you a better chance at winning. Now, this is ridiculous to me because as it stands right now, I think you have a 1 in 300 million chance to win. So, like, what's it going to give you? A 1 in 100 million chance? Is that what they're going to try to sell you on? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because it's still, I mean, it takes
1 in 100 is definitely better than 1 in 300.
But it takes the fun out of it, though. I mean, it's like, most people have an extra $2 to where they can buy a ticket just for fun, and then there's always that chance you could hit 2 or 3 numbers and get your money back, and you can keep playing. But when you're going to $5 a ticket, I mean, that's outrageous.
We know
it is a bit high, but I'm going to say, you said it takes the fun out of it. I'll guarantee you one thing, JJ. Whoever wins it, they'll think it's pretty dang fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you know who's going to win? It's going to be somebody that doesn't need it. It's going to be another doctor. It's going to be a big-time businessman. It's going to be somebody that's already won the lottery once. I mean, it'll be – and it's going to happen in a state like it's either going to be New York, California, or one of those big states.
One thing that I've seen lately is a lot of these winners are these factories and stuff where they got a lot of people that goes in and buys tickets. Put so much in the pot.
Yeah, they pull their money together.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Maybe that's something we need to do here.
The D&D lottery.
Yeah. We may need to do that. But guys, as we sit here, this rounds out another show here on the Startup Morning Show. We want to appreciate each and every one of you guys for joining. As this weekend, we will have a ton of football here on D&D Sports Network. Make sure you tune in for that. And real quick, Bradley, hot button topic. I want to get Bradley's opinion and JJ's.
Okay.
Did you see Mingo County signs Johnny Branch to another 3 years?
Who's Johnny?
Bradley, I know you got a hot take on this one. You tell us your thoughts.
I'll just say, in the interest of business, good luck, Mingo County.
There you go.
My honest opinion, I don't know who Johnny Branch is. So, I mean,
all right.
It's kind of hard for me to comment on somebody when I didn't even know they existed. So,
yep.
Hopefully, whatever position you have, you do a great job with it. Best of luck.
Aaron Lucas says joke. I come one hair of going to this meeting. And, I think at the end of the day, listen, I wish Dr. Branch, the best. But, at the end of the day, I think that everybody needs to look. When you go back to the election boxes, if you don't like what you get, remember who represents you, and that's who you need to make sure that, always remember, if you're looking for change, there is no change without change. Remember that.
Yeah. The only way you can make change is to not keep the exact same people around for 15, 20, 30 plus years, regardless of what it's in. And if you want something different, then you have to find somebody different. And I'm not saying, I don't know who the individual is. I mean, apparently he's a politician. I just mean in every
He's a superintendent.
Oh, superintendent?
Yeah, superintendent of schools.
Oh, okay.
In Mingo County.
Oh, well, I mean,
yeah.
If you're looking for change, I mean, you have to ask yourself, okay, the individual that's in there, how long have they been in there and how much have they done?
Yeah.
So I don't know how long he's been in there. I don't know how much he's done, but if you guys aren't satisfied.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people said that, I know a lot of people said that was against the rules to bring that up. I don't know anything about any of that at all. Pay grade. But I planned on going to that meeting last night, and my daughter had a ball game, so I had to miss it. But best of luck to Mingo County moving forward.
Absolutely.
So, guys, as you all showing Betsy Lane at Shelby Valley Thursday night, Jerry Dameron asked. We are not, Jerry. The internet's just too hard to get at Betsy Lane. We would love to because we love our Betsy Lane friends up there, but it is nearly impossible to get internet up there. So, unfortunately, we will not be, but wish we was. That game will be on Thursday night. Also on Thursday night, Crunch Time. Make sure you tune in right here at 8 p.m. to get caught up on all your football news. But for JJ Pruitt, Bradley Dameron, and Darryl McCoy, Aaron Lucas, yes, we will have Tug Valley this week. So make sure you tune in for that. The versus Mount View. And hopefully we'll have Tug Valley versus Westside the following week. But we appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. And guys, till next time, so long and good day.